Hello,
Hi there.
and welcome to another one of our movie reviews.
Yes.
This one is not a horror movie review.
One of our first, I think one of our first at least non-horror films.
Yeah, one of our first, but we just thought, well, first off, I'm Randy,
And I'm Steve.
and this is Madam Web.
Yes.
Um,
Marvel movie. We
We
decided.
we decided to do a video on this movie because we feel that this movie deserves good word of mouth.
And it is so underrated and is so trash talked. And it's such a wonderful film. I didn't know if I was going to like this going to this. Because I heard how good it was from a few people. Being one of them. A couple other people talked about this movie really well, and I was like, okay, and I wanted to see what this movie was about. I thought this was just such a good time. I recommend this to almost everyone. I just think it's, regardless if you're a Marvel fan, whatever kind of movies you like, I just recommend this to everyone. It's kind of a slice of life movie. It's just funny, dramatic, has so many wide range of genres that taps into. And does such a wonderful job with the cast and with the story.
I agree. Dakota Johnson, although I did not like her in 50 Shades trilogy, anything else that she does is pretty well done. This is as good as Bad Times at the El Royale and other movies that she's been in. But she is funny in this movie and has so much heart and emotion. I think she uses her powers well, and I think she just becomes this superhero at the end, and is just awesome. And I'm sad that we're not probably going to get a sequel.
At least not for a while.
At least not for a while, or
at all.
Or any spin-offs of it.
Yeah. Because it sets up the universe for Spider-Man and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
One thing, a little bit odd, but it works, is that this movie is supposed to set back all the way in 2003.
Yeah.
And it's basically this woman who, it starts out with her mother's story in Brazil, with this friend or this other, what was he even supposed to be?
Yeah, I think it was a
co-worker, and they're in Brazil trying to study like different things and explore
spiders.
Mm-hmm. And you don't know why they're there at the time, but she basically it's I think bitten by one, and then they're trying to steal a spider. She's trying to take a spider to experiment on it, and he kind of turns his back on her, and you realize he's been lying to her the entire time, which basically you don't learn a lot at the time, but basically you're like, what? He kind of turns his back on her. He's like, I want it, and then she's like, no, and the spider falls on her. It gets her, and then she dies, I think.
No, the spider people.
Oh, the spider people.
The spider people. She gets shot.
Oh yes, they call him something.
By the bad guy.
Arachna something. Aranya something.
I don't know.
It's a Spanish term for like spider people. Aranya
the spider
something.
people come down and like try to save her.
Mm-hmm.
So the spider bites her.
Yeah.
And basically she dies though, and Cassandra Webb is born.
Yes.
Which is Dakota Johnson. Flash forward.
She's a paramedic.
Years later.
She's a
paramedic. She works with Ben Parker.
Yes.
That's any reference to Spider-Man.
Yes.
But yeah, it's
different timeline of Spider-Man, but
yeah,
cool. And basically, she
dies.
She has a bunch of experience. It starts out a little slow, but eventually she has this one experience with a person who's about to die, and she dies, saves his life, and realizes when she's underwater, because she falls into water, all of a sudden this thing happens where she like has like all these like memories and sees all these things, like has these almost
deja
vus, illusions, hallucinations, or not only hallucinations but premonitions, and sees these things that are like telling her about her past and who she is and what happened to her mom and why, and something about like basically that she now has these weird powers. She's like, what? She thinks it's all a dream. Comes back, and then Parker rescues her. Her friend saves her, and she gets like he's starting to like help revive her, make sure her pulses and everything, her vitals are all good, and she starts to have like visions of the future before they actually happen, and thinks that she's having conversations and experiences before they actually happen, and they repeat, and then she already knows it's going to happen at times before everyone else does.
Yeah.
So she's like, what? And then everyone else is confused as well, like what's going on with her and her own behavior, and she starts seeing bad and good things that start happening to people, especially like unfortunately bad things, or like people that will come into her life, and she's trying to struggle with how she's having these visions but wants to stop them, but other people will believe her. So there's the emotions of that, and eventually leads her to discovering this guy who worked with her mom, and the bad guy of the movie trying to steal her, trying to utilize her powers, and trying to use basically the powers to what was it?
Kill these 3 girls.
Yeah, that's right. Kill these 3 girls who he has a vision, because he has spider visions as well. These 3 girls that will kill him one day, and
one day in the future.
One day in the future.
They're all like in spider suits and
yes,
like Spider Woman.
And he's like, if you have these visions, you would try to stop them too. So, yes.
He sits down to try to track down these 3 girls.
And it's important to note he is in the FBI or the police department. So he's supposed to be an undercover good guy, even though he's not. And he has like all these resources he can use, and he can track people down. He can use all that. He has this one woman who's supposed to be like his like almost like servant to find all this information on different people and on these 3 girls. And all 3 of these girls either met her or she has known them through either experiences or other visions or other experiences.
Yeah.
And she realizes that they all are connected to her by this guy, and she realizes that once she sees these girls on an experience on the subway, they're like, who is a spider guy, and why are you like saving me, and what is all this stuff going on? She's like, I have no idea, let me go find out. So she starts like learning information.
Yeah, I think that's where maybe audiences maybe lose themselves a bit.
Maybe
is because she just drops these girls off in the middle of a park or in the middle of the woods, and like she's like, stay here
like,
for a while.
Hold on, I gotta go
figure stuff out.
Which is a little bit,
which is
random,
fine,
but it's
just why random, yeah. And then she goes to Peru for a week, and like,
well, not yet.
Yeah.
She at that point she's. But yeah, she goes, she saves them multiple times from the sky, and
she finds out her spider roots through the spider people in Peru.
Mm-hmm.
And then she
finds out her mom.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies where like it's an origin story. So like she discovers her powers.
She knows how to train these girls.
Yeah, and she tries to protect these girls.
And the black woman, is actually from Freaky and plays the best friend of Catherine Newton in that movie. And then the Arab one was Immaculate.
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, and then the other woman, I forget what she's been in, but I think I recognize her from something else too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But really talented actresses, really funny, really great chemistry, good acting. Great actors in this film.
I agree. I wish we would have got more costumes.
These women were the shit. They were great. I actually loved them in this movie, and
yes.
And you care about their characters so much.
Yes, I agree. And this movie is now streaming on Netflix.
That black woman, because she's been in other stuff too. I've seen her in. She is so funny, and I enjoy her presence so much on screen. But yeah, a great movie, great actors.
Definitely watch it or buy it. Support Madam Web.
Support Madam Web, yes. Renounce all these bad reviews. It's good.
Yes. Come on, Sony, give us more Madam Web.
But such a good movie. Definitely go give it a shot.
Like and follow for more.
For more